Okay.
Call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Buckner?
Here.
Reverend Campbell?
Here.
Mr. Hood?
Here.
Mayor Jones?
Councilman Hood, turn your microphone on, please. Council, check your microphones here.
Test.
Councilman, your mic. Very good. Here.
Mr. Mayo?
Here.
Vice Mayor Miller?
Here.
Mr. Saunders? Mr. Vogler?
Here.
Mr. Whittle?
Just want to say good evening to those of you who are viewing and those of you who are here in the chambers. Before I turn it over to Councilman J. Lee Vogler for the invocation, just want to say to our citizens, oftentimes we hear it cancel. We hear from our citizens all the time, and hearts are a little heavy tonight with all the violence that not only is going on in the country, but that's happening here in our city. If you notice, Councilman Saunders is not here tonight. He is visiting with a dear friend of ours who lost his son today with a shooting in Purdon Woods. Tonight, what you're going to see this council present some things tonight, as we have in the past, that helps move our city forward. In a few minutes after Councilman Vogler prayed, you're going to hear from Dr. Jackson, Dean Terry, and Ms. Sheena Kane Johnson. And you're going to hear some of the opportunities that are put forth for persons in our community who deserve a second chance. Later on, you're going to hear this council discuss $23 million to our school system. You read about our police department and all of the community engagement it's trying to do in our community to bring people together. This council and many partners have worked tirelessly to try to unite and bring our community together as one. When we speak of racism, as what took place in Buffalo, New York, look at this council. This council leads. This council worked tirelessly together. If there's any example that you should see, you should look at this council. Send a plea to our community. Work with us, continue to work with us. We've had 2 incidents of murder that myself and other council members attended in Cardinal Village just a few weeks ago. And this morning on my way to work, I received another message from our city manager and our police department of another murder. Oftentimes people say, what do we do? What can we do? Each and every time this council comes together, we're working for the betterment of this community. And oftentimes you hear us talk about and preach love, 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 because we mean it. So before Councilman Vogler prays, and he's going to be praying for our community, once again, we're offering up prayer. We're going to be offering up opportunities. When you hear Dr. Jackson, Dean Terry, Ms. Sheena Kane Johnson, you're going to hear opportunities. You're going to hear $23 million that's being pushed in our school system. You've heard about things our police department is doing into community engagement. Continue to pray with us and support those families who've lost loved ones due to this violence. Councilman Vogler, let us all stand.
Let's bow our heads. Lord, we come to you tonight with a prayer for healing, with a prayer for comfort, with a prayer of guidance, with a prayer of togetherness, with a prayer for our community. Lord, as the mayor mentioned, so many are hurting right now. So many have lost someone close to them recently. And so, Lord, we come to you tonight and ask that you put your hands on them, that you touch them, that you comfort them, and that you help them in the days and the weeks ahead, and that you lift our entire community up and help us reach new heights together as one. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, I would like for Dr. Jackson, Dean Cheryl Terry, and Sheena Kane Johnson to come forward, please. And we welcome you all and say good evening to you. You can speak right into that microphone, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council members, thank you so much for having us here today. Want to let you all know, first of all, thank you for Danville. Danville has done and the partnership that we have with Virginia Economic Development Partnership. While I am not speaking on behalf of them officially, I want to let you know that the things that are coming and the things that are here currently with the two organizations that I want to brief you on briefly are just outstanding opportunities for the citizens of Danville. What we have put together for the residents here is an opportunity to join two organizations, Tyson's Product and Walraven. Both of these organizations are going to be looking for employees, in the near future. We want to let you all know that those training opportunities are ongoing currently at Danville Community College. What Ms. Johnson will explain to you shortly is the programs that we have put together utilizing some funding from VCCS, Fast Forward, that are offering individuals in the community training at no cost with opportunities then that will lead to gainful employment with these two outstanding organizations. So Sheena, can you explain to them what Fast Forward has done for us?
So with the Fast Forward grant, good evening to all of you. I am Sheena Kane Johnson from Danville Community College. And what Fast Forward and Virginia Community College System has done is allowed individuals to take short-term trainings that will lead to employment at no cost to the citizens. So with Tyson's, we're getting ready to start that training shortly in the next couple of weeks. And it is a 16-week training opportunity, again, for individuals of interest. All they have to do is call DCC, call Mr. Chad Younger, and he can assist them with the paperwork so that they can get started in the training opportunity. And again, it's no cost to the individuals.
Thank you.
Glad to take questions from the council.
Here's a question. First of all, thank you all so much for being here. Just to reiterate, the training is at no cost. It leads to job opportunities.
Correct. Correct.
Contact Chad
Younger.
at the RCAT?
Yes, at RCAT.
Do we have a number? Do we have a number to that?
Yes, I'm sorry. Chad's number is 434-797-8573. That's 434-797-8573.
Again, to our community, if you're viewing, I'm sure council members have some comments. If you're looking for opportunities, this is training at no cost, would lead you to jobs for Tyson's, and you've heard so much talk about Tyson's and other companies that are coming into our community, and it's short-term training. Dr. Johnson, Dr. Jackson, you want to add anything else?
No, just please take advantage of this opportunity. I mean, anytime that we can come into a community and provide such training that's going to lead to gainful careers, with starting salaries in the low to mid $30 an hour, that's just an opportunity that you can't pass up.
Starting salaries, what? Said it again.
Entry level between the low 30s and mid 30s per hour.
Councilman Mayo.
Good evening, Dr. Jackson and Sheena. Working right beside both of these individuals, tell us how many roughly are they looking to hire? Do we know right now?
Yes, we do. So Tyson's is looking to hire a total of 375. Right now, however, we need 80 individuals to get through that training program so that when they get ready to open the door, they have industrial maintenance folks ready to go into the factory to set up and to start running that equipment. Walraven is looking to hire 46. That's going to be a specialty area for injection molding, roll molding, and 3D printing. So we're really looking for some individuals that want to enter this new phase of manufacturing here in Danville.
And what I like to say also, this is an exciting time for a lot of our citizens. What we're doing in council, and we know what's coming, and for our citizens, we want you to know that jobs are here. Opportunities are abundance, and with these individuals you see in front of you, you see that all we had to do is the opportunity to just step forward. They want your time. These companies are needing people. Please, ma'am, please, sir, I hope you're hearing it. Jump on board.
80 possibilities at Tyson for training and 46 for Walring. Those of you who are graduated or have graduated or are thinking about what you can be doing, you can go into the short-term training at DCC. Contact Chad Younger, 434-797-8573. City Manager, I pray that we can get this information out, get with Dr. Jackson and Ms. Johnson, and get this information on our website. And maybe, because persons oftentimes saying, what else is out there? Go ahead, City Manager.
I feel pretty certain that our Economic Development Department is aware of some of this activity, and I'm sure that they'll make sure that that information gets out to folks through whatever means that they have necessary, but also whatever other means we have throughout the city government to make that happen.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? Again, thank you all so much for taking our time. This is very important to us, and thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
Under communication, any citizen who desires to speak on matters not listed on the agenda will be heard at this time. Citizens who desire to speak on agenda items will be heard when the agenda item is considered. Anyone who would like to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward at this time. Please state your name and your address for the record, please, and good evening to you, sir.
Good evening. My name is Marvin Warner. My address, I reside 85 Bishop Avenue in the historic Schofield community. I'm here today representing the Ministerial Alliance of Danville and vicinity. I want to say thank you to you elected officials. Over the last several years, our city has overcome many challenging situations, and many of us are aware of that. Changes have been a breath of fresh air. High unemployment rate, and talked about the murder. The murder rates have gone down, but the sad news these last couple of days that we've had a couple of murders in our city. The high employment rate that was here for many, many years after industries left, blighted conditions of our communities are changing. We have witnessed the tremendous transformation of our beloved city. And I want to commend you, our elected officials. You have done and you are doing a tremendous job, and we say to you, well done. But on the end of that, there's still much work to be done. Not only you all, it is to be done by all of us. It is necessary. Even in the midst of this pandemic situation, we have much work that has to be done. We must not forget where we come from. We must not forget as the many industries that have left us, but the many industries that are coming our way to our beloved city on the mighty Dan. We must look closely at what is being presented to us from every industry, from every angle. You, as our esteemed elected body, must examine every contract, every document, from every angle to make sure it will be most beneficial to all of its citizenry. Equal opportunity for all that can qualify to do the work. Everyone that is to do business in our city should be vetted thoroughly. What has their past relationship been with all concerned? We do want to thank the city manager, Ken Larkin, for posting the phone number for those that could contact to be available for those entrepreneurs and whether they barbers or cosmetologists to enter into certain areas that they may not have known. And so I commend the city for doing that as well. The citizens of Danville voted to bring a casino to our city, and we have chosen Caesars. That contract is already in effect. Contractors have been chosen. I live right there where they're building it. I hear them every morning. But when I see the workers there, they don't represent the varied complexions of our community.
Let me give you, you have people with you, you should get 10 minutes. He has persons with him, he should get 10 minutes. Those who are with him, please stand, let us acknowledge you. Let's give them a hand for being here. I apologize, Mr. Warner, but your time was wrong, and now we're giving you the appropriate time. You may have a seat. Continue.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Is there a fair and equitable representation of all of our citizenry? That's a question that you must ponder. When we bring people from outside of the Dan to our city, are they going to benefit all of us? What about the next business, the next industry, the next corporate structure? Will we be satisfied with the mediocre, or will we advocate for the collective we? Are we going to institute the necessary changes to help the next generation and the unborn generations to come so that they can too be prosperous holistically to create generational wealth? Not just a job. I hear about jobs all the time, but certain things are only going to keep you at a certain level. If we are not, the doorway is not open for us to enter into certain situations when business comes, we will continue business as usual and we'll be still stuck in the same rut, paycheck to paycheck. And so we're looking for equity and representation on all levels when these industries and bringing jobs and the prospering of our community. I'll leave you with this, realizing that the Dan is rising. The city is moving forward. There's a quote that says, "The rising tide lifts all boats." I thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for being here, sir. Thank you very much. We're still in communication from visitors. Anyone desire to speak on any agenda item may come forward this time. Please state your name and your address for the record. Good evening to you, sir.
Good afternoon, young man. Reverend George Lovelace, 379 Updike Place, Danville, Virginia. I have two issues that I would love for City Council to look into. Number one thing is our hospital. Our hospital have a 1.6 rating. You all may notice it's been about 2 years since the last time I've been here. The reason why was sober health. When I went down, I left sober health, I went down to Duke's, and they said when I got there, I was dying. I left this hospital and went to Duke's and they said I was dying. If I had been a day or two late, I wouldn't have been here. I've just started, I've been walking now for about 3 months. Sober health. I know that that hospital can do better. And I want to know, what is City Council going to do? They're killing our citizens. They're killing them. You know, the hospital have the task of, if you want to die, go up there. It's pitiful. It's pitiful. And my second issue is our youth. I'm not talking about the 18 years old and the 20 years. I'm talking about the little kids that we are sending to W.W. Moore. They go to W.W. Moore to learn how to be a thug, how to break in people's houses. We need a better avenue. And I want to ask City Council if someone came up with a program to train and teach our youth so that they won't have to be in W.W. Moore. And, you know, you look at it, a lot of those kids down there in W.W. Moore, it's not their fault. I'll tell anyone, go back home and see what kind of training they have. See how they're being taught. They're doing the only thing that they know. It's up to us. It's just like that killing that we just had. It's going to be more unless we can stop it, unless we can break it off at the root. So what are you all willing to do? Are you willing to just talk about it? Or are you willing to do something about it? Everybody can stand up and talk with good words, make a whole lot of promises. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What kind of programs? Those children need help. They need help. I'll never forget. I use for an example. I had a little boy to come and steal $400 from me. And they asked me, do you want to call the police? I said, no. I said, in the morning, I said, I'll come and pick him up and take him to work with me. The young man worked with me for a year. True, he stole from me while he was there. But he always brought it back and gave it back to him. Said, I stole it. He said, I just couldn't help myself. And I look at him, I said, you gonna steal it and then give it back? He said, yeah. They just need a chance. They just need a chance. And a young man was by my house last month. He's living in Lynchburg now. He's got his own business and doing good. And when he see me, he said, Daddy, I'm the only father that boy know. I'm the only father that he know. He's not the only one. That's just one of the many children that I've helped. See, a lot of them, it's not those kids' fault. It's not. But they're being stigmatized as it is. It's their fault. Really, it's not. They're crying out for help. So what can we do to help them? What are you willing to do? Or are you just willing to come in here and just have your meetings and talk about it? Let's get busy doing something.
There's a card, Mr. Lovelace, right on that, you'll see a card for the city manager's card on there, and that's the city, you know who the city manager is sitting next to you. Please reach out to them, and they'll be reaching out to you. Thank you, sir, for being here.
Excuse me, sir. What are your suggestions?
Just to let him talk, Mr. Lovelace, let him talk, Madison, let him speak to the city
I can
manager.
give him a suggestion. I got one right now.
Go for it.
My suggestion is start some of what you, instead of sending them to boot, sending them to W.W. Moore, start something like a boot camp wherein that you could train them instead of sending them, give them an option. Do you want to go to W.W. Moore or do you want to go to this camp and learn?
A long-term treatment center or a long-term camp?
Not a long-term, but whatever it takes to turn them around and to train their mind. See, in other words, the mind just needs to be retrained. That's all.
You good, Councilman Whittle? You good? Thank you, Mr. Lovelace. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you, Councilman Whittle. We're still in communications. Anyone desires to speak on any agenda item may come forward this time. Please state your name and address for the record. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. My name is Steve Barrow. The address is 1131 Stokes, and I'm the owner of Hammer Hill Computers over on Franklin Turnpike. Now, to speak about what George just spoke about, I actually have a program that I'm running right now. I have a mentorship program. I have 2 kids that I mentor. This is one of them right here. And you already met Joe. You met Joe before a couple of times. But,
I want to make sure Mr. Lovelace meet this young man before he goes.
But I agree with him. The kids need an opportunity. They need something different. They need to see something different. So that's why I started doing the mentorship program. And I let the kids come in. I teach them about starting a business, running a business, fixing a computer. And sometimes it's not even that they want to learn how to fix a computer. They just want to learn learn how to do something different. So that's one of the things that that I do. Now, what I was just speaking to Joe about earlier today, because he wants to do this as a profession. So we're going to teach him, we're going to train him for the Network Plus certification, and then I'll go ahead and pay for the test that he have to take in order to get that certification. But these are the kind of things that we do need to see happen in the community. We can't just sit back anymore and just, and I'm new to Danville, so honestly, I don't know any of the programs that that happened before or any of these other things, but it's easy for us to say the kids need an opportunity, but who's giving them that opportunity? We honestly have to do it. We have to give it to them. I opened up my business, my door, to say this is what I'm going to do. There are actually two kids that I have now, Julian and Joe. Joe would tell you, I pick them up and I bring them to work and I drop them off at home. All right. So it's not just that that I'm saying. And by the way, I'm not getting any funding for this. This is all out of my pocket. So it's not like people are like, oh, well, you do it just because you're getting the grant. No, I'm not getting the grant. I'm not getting anything. All I get is the pleasure of knowing that the next generation is going to be better than this generation. That's it. And that's all I want to see. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm listening.
Do you have any questions? Or
no,
anything?
I want to hear from Joe.
Yeah.
I want to hear from Joe. This is a young man that I was at the council, Make Danville Shine, so you can stop the clock. I was Make Danville Shine, and I went down to the community market, and we have some amazing young people in our community, and some amazing people working with our young people. And I was walking through the community market, Make Danville Shine, and this young man came up behind me out of nowhere. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor, I sincerely appreciate you. So, Joe, it's all yours. Tell them a little bit about you and how excited you are to be working with Mr. Barrow.
Well,
you can take your mask off if you want.
Oh.
It's up to you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Joseph Williams. I like to fix computers. I want to start to get into like the more business aspect of it. So I've been going to Mr. Steve so I can learn what he does at his business. And
We're breaking him out of his shyness too.
That's good. That's good. That's why I wanted him. That's wanted him. This is your place to be. Well, let me just say this. Your mother's here. Mother, stand up. We just want to applaud you. This is an awesome young man. And your mother, anything you want to add about this awesome young man that you're raising?
Yes. Hi, Mr. Mayor. Hi, Councilman. We're new to Danville, too. And I'm a single parent. And my son don't have any family here. And so he needs opportunities like this. Mr. Steve has been so generous with us to lend his time and his efforts and just developing my son. Before, he couldn't stand here and even speak to anyone. Now he's actually saying things and doing things, and he's a Beta Club member. He's an honor roll student. He's a great kid. But he needs support. And while I'm here trying to raise him, I've been a stay-at-home mom. I homeschool him also because of the very reason of the violence here. I'm afraid. And so I homeschool him, but the homeschooling, he still needs more support. And so we were hoping that something could be done that would allow him and other kids to have more opportunities.
Well, let me introduce some people to you because our budget is built around our young people. School board member Tyrell Payne, please stand up. School board member Keisha Averett, please stand up. Superintendent Angela Harrison, stand up. Before you leave, please meet these people because there's a lot of support for our young people. Dr. Jackson, would you please stand up? Sheena Kane Johnson, would you please stand up? Vanessa Kane from my Danville Redevelopment and Housing Authority. It's a lot of Tommy Bennett from the NAACP. Kathy Harville, will you please stand up? Ms. Lipscomb, can you please stand up? There's a lot of support in this chamber tonight, please reach out to these individuals because he's a fine young man. Thank you all so much. Thank you, everyone.
One more thing I wanted to mention too. By the way, because we are the official extension of the IT department for the school board. So I want to let them know too that this young man has been fixing a lot of the Chromebooks that they've been sending to us. So that's the kind of stuff we do.
Well, when the reason that I asked Mr. Payne and Keisha and Dr. Harrison, the entire time that you all were speaking, you had their undivided attention, along with council. Thank you so much. Young man, you know me and you talk a lot, so I'm very proud of you, so keep doing what you're doing. I'm glad I put you on. Terrell Payne, we used to put him on the spot like that too, and look where he's at now. So anyways, thank you all so much. We're still in communications. Anyone who desires to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward at this time. Please state your name and your address for the record. Good evening to you.
Good evening. Natalie Hodge, 30 West Main Street, Martinsville, Virginia. Do not hold that against me. I'm so excited to be here, Mr. Mayor, distinguished council members, Mr. City Manager, Assistant City Manager. Again, my name is Natalie Hodge, and I am the founder and owner of Rudy's Girl Media. I'm also the creator and producer of a TV series called Hometown Hustle. And so last season, we were in our pilot season. We had 6 amazing entrepreneurs from Martinsville, Henry County that we were able to feature and to give global exposure to these small businesses and the ecosystem that supports them. This season, we have expanded, and we are including the great city of Danville in the mix.
All right.
It's a bigger, better, bolder season. There are all sorts of amazing bells and whistles that are part of the project, and I'm so excited that it will be housed in Danville as well as many other communities in our region. And I thank you for your support of small business development because we need you, and we really appreciate all that you do to invest in small businesses as well as large. Anyone interested who is watching the viewing of this can click on our link for Hometown Hustle. It's hometownhustle.tv. That's the website for the show. And businesses that would like to be featured can apply there for feature. And also show sponsors can apply to be a part of what we're doing this season. So I saw a few of you at the meet and greet for our summer work experience program that's offered through Workforce and some amazing partners in the city. And I met 2 incredible young women there. They are creatives, and I have the pleasure of mentoring these young women. And I asked them to come to be a part of this process because I don't just want to know the way or go the way, I want to show the way. So I invited them to be a part, and I didn't know this, but they have prepared notes, and so I will yield the microphone to them.
Well, Ms. Hodge, before you yield the microphone to them, they're going to tell the council, because Councilman Mayo and I were there. So make sure when y'all do the introduction and when you call my name, you say it right. Come on forward. Council members, now listen to this. We just met them last week, me and council members. So make sure when you do the introduction to the mayor, make sure the people hear it very clearly.
Myself first.
Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Amber David. I'm a junior at Galileo Magnet High School. This is my uncle.
There you go.
Uncle May. I call him Uncle because sometimes, when we on a chill vibe, but it's Uncle today. Without further ado, I was told to talk about creative arts and why it's so important to see people like me doing it within the community. And for me, creative arts is a way of releasing and creating bonds and really expressing how you feel and the ideas that come to you and showing it out there in the world. And I like to refer to myself as a poet, And poetry for me is a way to release expression based on how you feel or how you want the world to feel. And based on the topic, wordplay, word choice, and that's how you get your expression out there. And creative art brings a spark to those that see the same prescription as you. I want to be a part of the same vision that you are a part of. And for me, Hometown Hustle is a mindset shifter because it makes me believe that maybe my dream is obtainable. Maybe I'm not thinking too big. Maybe I can be a poet. Maybe I can sell my books. Maybe this is the way for me. And I was on her page and I was just like, okay, these are regular people. Maybe I can, what's the word that I can use? Maybe I can use my dream and my talent and my gift to connect with other people that see with the same prescription as me. And I guess that's it.
Tell them who your parents are. A lot of the council members are going to be shocked at who your parents are. I just met Councilman Mayo and Tommy, just met them last week. Tell them who your parents are.
This is Robert David.
Robert
and
David and
my
Brenda.
mom is Brenda David.
For Project Imagine. Good job. Come on, Brenda. Come on, young lady, your turn.
My name is Brie Asia Jones, and I'm a junior at Galileo Magna High School. And the mayor is my uncle, and Tommy is my auntie uncle. I was also told to talk about my interest in creative arts and how important it is to see people who look like me in the community. I wrote it down, so. Okay. Creative arts is an outlet for me to express my emotions in a way my actions or verbal words aren't able to. When I was younger, I didn't have a voice, and I feel like I wasn't heard, and the paper was the only person who listened to me. So creating stories that intertwine with my life, or stories that I could escape to, was my only outlet. And even now, as a young adult, I love to create writings that I, as well as others, can enjoy, and that connects with me and speaks for people who have yet to find their voice. It's important to see young people of color doing work in the community because we are the future. We are the people who are in control of the changes to come. A young adult seeing someone who looks like them being active in the community can change a whole perspective. I'm speaking from experience. Before I became active in the community and saw the activity within the community, I wanted to leave Danville and not come back. But now that I'm seeing what's going on in the community, I want to inspire people and do the same thing Ms. Natalie is doing with us and reaching back and encouraging others.
Well, we met you all at Dr. Harrison and Ken. All of us were at the Institute. And these young people, along with many, many more, it was Dr. Harrison, I mean, Ken, 100 or so kids and parents? And these young people, all of them were absolutely amazing. Mr. Lovelace, there was a lot of excitement. These young people are going to be working this summer. We have a lot of job opportunities that the city has put in its budget for young people. And Ms. Hodge, thank you so much for mentoring. I just met them a week ago, but they are my nieces. So thank you for mentoring my nieces. Hey, Council, anything else from any council member? Councilman Mayo.
He pays y'all to say that. I know he did. But Natalie, thank you for coming. I knew what you did. I said, bring it to council. We need to hear this. And by bringing that to council, you brought these lovely young people. And to the gentleman before, what y'all doing is incredible. And we understand. And my friend, he knows, I hear him. And we know we don't reach all our children because they do have talents, they have wants and needs, and we need to reach them and see exactly what they can do. But you're on your way. Thank you for coming.
Well, can you, before you do that, Ken, I hate to put you on the spot, but can you briefly give a little, just briefly in regards to how we set our budget and the theme of our budget this year?
Sure. The theme of this year's budget, as I was putting together and describing it to City Council, was how can we invest in our young people? And so a lot of the focus areas, in addition to the normal things that we do as city government providing services, include initiatives that are really geared toward enabling our youth to have a successful life going forward. An example of that is the $300,000 that was budgeted for the summer internship program. And so a year ago, there was an amount that had to be appropriated to start it last year. Earlier, a few months ago, there was an amendment to this year's budget that enabled it to happen this summer. Next year's budget includes $300,000 to make sure that the summer internship program happens again next year. And it's the intention, to go forward to continue that because it's been successful. Of course, we have Project Imagine that's included. It's been in our budget for multiple years. It started with grant funding, but it's been supported with city dollars for, I'm thinking about 6 or so years. They've graduated a lot of highly at-risk youth through that program, providing them job opportunities and ways to get on a path towards success. In addition, we are in the midst of working on a teen court program which would be a diversion program. I think council had acted on something related to that a few council meetings ago, which would divert people from WW Moore and have an opportunity for those kids to have a peer review through some conflict that they may happen, which is, again, putting them on a better path. So those are just a few examples. Of course, the City Council always supports the funding, local funding of the school system, and there are multiple other things through Parks and Recreation, partnerships with other organizations to provide activities that are positive in nature for young people. So I'm just coming up with a few things off the top of my head, but I know there are many more things that we're looking at now and are continuing to look at in the future to make sure that our young people have productive ways to spend their time.
Well, I thank you. I want you all to hear that because in your presentation, you stated that you were thinking at one time about leaving Danville. We are vesting in you all, more than you know. We are excited to do it. This council, there's so many more things that each council member that's sitting around this table can tell you what they're doing and what they're going to do and what we're wanting to do. So I just want to commend all three of you young people for being here tonight, and thank you for believing in us. Thank you so much. Let's give them a big hand. Thank you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you. We're still in communications. Anyone else desire to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward this time. Please state your name and your address for the record, please, and good evening to you, sir.
Thanks. Good afternoon. My name is Anthony Jones. 1034 DeBrill Alley is my address. And I just came to share the message today. I try to do it in writing and everything. I came to speak in the name of Jesus today. Praise Jesus. I'm a believer of Jesus. And he has given me the idea for preachers to read all God's word to the church. And I just came to once again share it. I think it's an important message. Also, it would be help keep people on the right path. Praise Jesus. So, and thank you for y'all's time today. And I get to come around and share it. And thanks.
Always appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Anyone else? We're still in communications. Anyone desire to speak on any items not on the agenda may come forward this time. Please state your name and your address for the record. Please state your name and address for the record.
Harris, 304 Wendell Scott Drive. I'm here on behalf of the citizens and of the areas where there's not much infrastructure is being done. And I believe in kids with low self-esteem is the ones that are doing the most crime. And if we as citizens and city council, if we don't address these areas such as Almagro, see, if these kids see their parents come out stumbling on the road because there's not proper pavement, and these people pay taxes, so they deserve for infrastructure in their neighborhoods. Almagro from Broadneck, from South Main Street, Broadneck to the cemetery, it looks like an Indian reservation, worse. And these kids come out and see their grandmother and their mothers, even where they live, their self-esteem needs helping. If their self-esteem is not risen, they will commit crime because they say, why should I be on the good side when the city is not protecting or doing what's necessary to my mother's paying taxes, grandmother's paying taxes, and my neighborhood looks terrible. The streets are terrible. If you go from South Main Street, Broadneck to the cemetery, it's a travesty. And these kids that was born there see that. They're saying, why should I do right when the city don't do right for my neighborhood? So my main point here is the kids need their self-esteem risen to do better. Jobs are good. Jobs are great. But if they don't get to those jobs because of their self-esteem and don't believe in the city, these jobs are not going to do any good. We got to raise these kids' self-esteem and let them feel proud of their neighborhood, proud of the city, knowing that their neighborhood is getting help, the infrastructures. See, and they see that will help their mentality to think, hey, it's worth my while because the city cares about me. But the city don't care about me or my mother or my father, we're paying taxes. So why should I cooperate with the city if the city don't cooperate with us? And that's the problem I see with these kids having to grow up with low self-esteem and saying, why should I if they don't care? That's what I have to say today, sir. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you so much. We're still in communications. Anyone else with desire to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward this time. Anyone else desire to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward this time. Please state your name and your address for the record, and good evening to you, ma'am.
Aloha, everyone. How are you all doing tonight?
Good evening.
So I would like to come. The last time you all saw me here, I was representing SPM Empowerment Skills Apprenticeship Painting Program back in August of 2021, and just want to give you an update on what's been going on. So 2 weeks before we could, the scheduled time for us to complete the program was abruptly dissolved. And so there was a lot of students that were in the communities of hope with the new painting. You know, for me, being a veteran, painting was becoming a new thing for me because it's therapeutic. And so what Mr. Gerard Harris did was when everything dismantled, he started his own business, which is called Master's Touch Floors and Paint. And he kept the students that didn't want to leave. He kept them and started his business and used them for on-the-job training, and been building the business from scratch up until now. So that started back in October, and he's actually been hitting the floor running inner city Danville. He does. Just want to give you information. So I know the casino's coming, so anybody that wants to beautify their residential or commercial, I will tell you exactly what the business offers. So with Master's Touch Floors and Paint, with Mr. Gerard Harris, who stayed back to be with the students, to give them hope. I'm finding the flyer, excuse me. He started his business and partnered, so it's still at the same building where they did the opening, 1218 West Main Street, and still in the same room. We do hardwood finishing and maintenance of floors, tile maintenance, VCT maintenance, carpet cleaning, floor sealing, floor painting. They also offer painting with residential and commercial exterior, interior, tin and metal roof, and deck staining. If you want to reach out to him to get to do any business for the city, his number is 434-425-7039. I am his volunteer assistant. I stay back to help assist. And what we also do with some of the students that stayed back is we mentored them. A lot of them came from different walks of lives, and what people don't understand is you can throw anybody in school, but if you don't meet them where they're at and help them get through their difficulties to make them a success story, then sometimes it doesn't work. So under his guidance, I started my business. It's not official yet, but I've been operating it as a baby business. It's called Wisdom's Leadership, and I provide different resources, and I'm just there as a Marine veteran. You know, they say go back home and serve your community, and that's what I've been doing on a lower level. I may not get a lot of light, but I have seen a lot of people shine and come up and get confidence and get more business oriented and turn away from some of their old ways. So I would like to thank Mr. Harris. He's in Martinsville. But if it wasn't for him, and with my hopes and where I wanted to go with the painting, I don't know where, what will be going on right now. And with that confidence, I am now in project management courses to get my certificate to be a project manager. So I just want to say thank you, and if you have any questions, just let me know, and look forward to doing business with you all in the near future.
Well, thank you for your service to our country and much success to what you're doing. And thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you. Thank you. We're still in communications. Anyone desire to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward this time. Anyone that desires to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward at this time. Please state your name and address for the record again, please.
Hey, Unc. It wasn't really my intention to say something about it, but actually, I do have a program going on at Galileo Magnet High School. It's called Progression Over Perfection. It's a mental health club for
Go back. What's the name of it again?
Progression Over Perfection, but we call it POP for short. It's actually a mental health club. It started back in October, and my last POP club meeting was actually the day of mock interview day. That was my last meeting. And what it's really about is trying to raise awareness in the school systems about mental health, because I feel like school systems are kind of based on, can you do this work? Can you succeed? Can you score this score? But we're not really talking about the mental toll that it takes on students. I'm really passionate about it, I'm sorry. There's a lot of students and there's a lot of teenagers that take their lives because of the stress of school, because, you know, you get depressed and it's hard to do work, and then, you know, this work keeps stacking up and you're failing your classes and you're trying to graduate, and it's a lot, especially for people that are not mentally strong for it. And there's people that have problems at home. So I'm not sure what the city can do. I'm looking for some support, but I feel like it's a cause that needs to be supported and noticed, especially in the school system, because I know for a fact that the suicidal rates have gone up, especially with this day and age, and it needs to be recognized. And it's Mental Health Month, so.
Well, your program is called Progression of Perfection, and as I stated earlier, did I get it right?
Progression over perfection.
Progression over perfection.
Yeah.
Well, to you, when you're walking back to your seat, please stop by and meet with your two school board members, and your superintendent is back there. Terrell, stand up again. Have you met your school board members, Terrell and Keisha? Those are your school board members. That's Terrell and that's Keisha, and your superintendent is back there. So before you leave tonight, try to spend some time with them and share more of your vision with them, okay? Thank you. Anyone else? We're still in communications. Anyone desire to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward at this time. Anyone desire to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward at this time. Under the consent agenda, I open the public hearing. Anyone who desires to speak on any item that's on the consent agenda may come forward at this time. Anyone who desires to speak on any item on the consent agenda may come forward at this time. Anyone desire to speak on any item on the consent agenda may come forward this time. I close the public hearing. Councilman Campbell.
Mr. Mayor, I move for adopting the consent agenda B, C.
Is there a second? Is there a second? Second by Councilman Mayo. Discussion of the motion. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mr. Buckner?
Aye.
Reverend Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. Hood?
Aye.
Mayor Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Mayo?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Saunders? Mr. Vogler?
Aye.
Mr. Whittle?
Aye.
Consideration of amending Danville City Code regarding real estate tax exemption and deferral to certain elderly and disabled persons. Councilman Vogler.
Yes, Mayor, I move we adopt an ordinance amending and reordaining Section 37-62 entitled General Restrictions, Conditions, and Qualifications, and Section 37-66 entitled Amount of Exemption and/or Deferral of Article 4 entitled Real Estate and Mobile Home Tax Exemption and Deferral for Certain Elderly and Disabled Persons of Chapter 37 entitled Taxation of the Code of the City of Danville, Virginia, 1986 as amended. Final adoption.
Second by Councilman Buckner. Discussion of the motion. Dr. Miller, then Councilman Vogler.
Yeah, at one time the limit was, I believe, $40,000, and I think the city wanted to step back from that and look. Do we have any more input on what the implications is going to be? How many people it will affect overall? I know the median income for a household now was $37,000, but most people at 65 or older, you know, the most you can get out of Social Security is about $3,000 a month. So, is there any? Where are we with your evaluation? What effect is this going to have?
We don't really know exactly what the impact will be. It really depends on how many applications we get. We don't have data to be able to look at to know who would qualify right now and who wouldn't qualify. So really we're trying to start off with a step right now to see what kind of impact it has on the revenues of the city before we go to the next step if we need to. But so we're taking kind of a tiered approach to see what the impact will be, but there's really not a good way to get a specific answer to that question based on the data that we have.
Must have some ideas. It's going to have a little bit of effect, medium effect, a high effect. You have any idea?
We have, I believe we had some estimate of a reduction in revenue in the budget included, and I think it's in the tens of thousands of dollars if I recall. Michael Atkins, who's here, may be able to find the answer to that question, and by the time he does his financial report, he may be able to help with that, or he may know now off the top of his head, our finance director or finance officer, Michael Atkins.
Good evening.
Good evening.
City manager's correct. There's really no way for us to pinpoint how many applicants are not, or how many people are not applying now because they fall above the current income levels. We just don't have that data. But we did add, and forgive me, I don't remember off the top of my head, but less than $20,000. And so we already had a budget in place for this tax relief, and it's never been quite fully expended. So we think that some of our current budget will take care of the growth in this program. We also added to the budget for next year for the step up in the income limit as well. But there is really no way for us to know with any certainty of how many people can apply and will apply for this.
We're asked to vote for something we have no idea what effect it's going to have, but as best you can project, it shouldn't have a major budget effect.
That's right, and that's the reason behind the incremental approach. Yes, sir.
Councilman Vogel.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, and I'm so glad that we're voting on this tonight. You know, I brought this to council a few months back, and I brought it up because it was something that our citizen, Michael, I'm not going to need to ask you anything, so you're good.
I need him.
It was something that our citizens had brought up to me, and I'm sure to other council members, but again, it's no secret, inflation is through the roof right now. I mean, inflation and everything is about as bad as it's ever been. And those who are impacted probably the most are those on fixed income. You're talking about senior citizens and the permanently disabled, and got asked constantly, what can you do on the local level to help us in any kind of way? Well, unfortunately, there's only but so many things you can do on the local level to help, but this was one area which we could. And so I'd found where we had this program. It hadn't been changed in 20 years. The income cap had been set for 20 years. Obviously, the cost of everything has gone up quite a bit in 20 years. And so I'd initially asked for $40,000. We ended up, as was just mentioned a minute ago, at $30,000. But the bottom line is this, that tax relief is going to be available to more of our citizens than it was previously. And so in my mind, this is a good thing that we're doing. I didn't get all of what I wanted to be able to get, but we wouldn't be at this point tonight if not for the collective effort of this city council and staff working together, where we identified a problem, we worked together on a solution, and now we're about to vote on it. And I think that that is a good thing. And I think when you contrast that with Congress, for example, where they get very little of anything done these days, or even, unfortunately, to a lesser extent, the General Assembly. I mean, they don't even have a budget right now. You know, you look at the General Assembly, it's filled with a lot of people who have no experience in local government. I think it shows. Gas prices, as I mentioned, gone through the roof. They've got a proposal right now that would knock 26 cents off of every gallon of gas, but the other side of the aisle says, no, we don't want to do that. We want to give everybody a gift card. Then back to the other side of the aisle, they said, no, we don't want to do that. And so they just go back and forth, and then ultimately nothing gets done, and people suffer because of it. There used to be something called the Virginia Way, where people would sit down and work together and get things accomplished. I don't know where it's went, but I think if you look at the Danville Way, as the mayor mentioned earlier, what this council does, we work together. We sit down and we come up with solutions to problems. We don't get it right every single time. But I'll tell you, in my 10 years here, I've watched each and every member of this council put a lot of time and effort into working together and to make things better for our citizens. And so again, that's what we're doing tonight. We are coming up with a solution to a problem that existed, and I hope we can revisit it again a year from now, because I still want to get it to 40,000. But tonight is a step in the right direction, so I will proudly be voting for this. Thank you.
Anyone else? Councilman Wheeler.
Sure. So just reading into the tea leaves a little bit, that it was the tax exemption and or deferral determined by the total income of the applicants who meet the combined financial standard of $50,000 or less is how it's written in here. Just
for the combined, not for an individual.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And I just want a little clarification on
Michael, you want to come back forward, Michael?
It was number 5, and it said it's to the combined financial worth, including equitable interest of all owners of the dwelling for which the exemption is claimed. I didn't know how many people you could have in it.
There's no limit to the number of people you can have in the household. What the $50,000 represents is the overall worth of the applicant. So in other words, perhaps your income is below the level needed to qualify for the exemption, but you have $100,000 worth of investment property, then you would not qualify because your net worth is more than $50,000.
Okay, and then the other part was if you were in a nursing home and or couldn't pay it, that it would be a tax lien on the dwelling. I'm asking if that's correct.
I'd have to review that part. That has not
Let
changed.
me just read it to you there.
Okay.
It just says deferral for only the property in the tax year for which exempt and or deferral is claimed, and any deferral shall continue to constitute a lien on the dwelling, which is the bottom of B.
So prior to this change, in the current condition, a taxpayer can either qualify for exemption of the tax based on income, or if their income was over a certain level, they could qualify for a deferral, which just means you don't have to pay, but eventually if that property is sold or inherited, then the purchaser or the one that inherits it would have to pay the back tax. So what it's saying is in those cases, a lien is against the property for that back tax.
Right.
But we're proposing to do away with that deferral plan altogether and just do exemptions.
Should they be able to use it if you're in the nursing home, I guess is my question. They're not going to, that would step in front of it.
If they're currently in a deferral, going forward, that citizen would qualify for an exemption, so they would,
Okay.
so there would not be a
All right.
deferral.
Thank you.
Good?
Yes, sir.
Councilman Vogel.
Yeah, again, I just want to reiterate, I'm thankful for staff and council working on this because we can't do anything locally about gas prices. We can't do anything about a number of the other things. This is something that we can do something about, and more importantly, help those who really need the help the most, those who are on fixed income and don't have the ability to change their financial circumstances and have been really crushed by the increase of cost of everything. And so even if this helps just in a small way, I really hope we pass this tonight. Thank you.
Anyone else? Madam Clerk, Councilman Whittle.
I was going to be able to keep my doctor too, but go ahead, we'll go on to the next one. Thank you.
Anyone else? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Reverend Campbell.
Aye.
Mr. Hood.
Aye.
Mayor Jones.
Aye.
Mr. Mayo.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Saunders. Mr. Vogler.
Aye.
Mr. Whittle.
Aye.
Mr. Buckner.
Aye.
Consideration of approving the fiscal year 2023 school board budget. Council, what's your pleasure? Councilman Buckner.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve a resolution approving the budget of the school board of the city of Danville for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023, final adoption.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Campbell. Discussion of the motion. Dr. Miller.
I have a question of the superintendent.
Dr. Harrison, Dr. Miller has a question of you.
Kindly hear it, isn't it?
I'm gonna ask the school board, your school board members to join you because I'm gonna let them come join your superintendent, please.
Let them take the heat too. No, I just wanted you to know, one thing that I noticed in the budget in this year that you told us, year after year after year, we've noticed a decrease in our school-aged children. Every year we lose so many. Tell us about this last year.
Last year, we were one of the few school districts in our state to increase enrollment. And our analysis of that indicated we were able to, well, we had some move-ins. We had new folks coming to our community, but we also had homeschool students returning to our virtual academy. And so that brought back a lot of our students to our community. We have increased tuition students. And so we felt pretty good about that ability to not only hold enrollment, to increase enrollment this past year.
How is that important in what we get from?
Incredibly important. We know that increases our state dollars, it increases per pupil dollars to our community. It allows us to do some extra things with our at-risk students, and it also gives a little bit of relief to our local taxpayers because more dollars are coming from the state.
Now, a question I had, and I've had several teachers approach me about their contract for next year, their salary may not be a fixed amount, that they were reluctant to sign contracts that didn't say exactly how much they would be getting, which has really never happened before. Can you explain why that's happened this year versus other years?
Well, actually, went back and looked at that, and there is an anticipated salary on all contracts, which is a 5% pay increase, and it includes a step increase. But there's a little clause that indicates that may be adjusted depending on the state budget. Our state has not approved our budget, and so that makes it really hard for us to nail down exactly what those salaries will look like. But that's true for every district in the state of Virginia. So we're hoping that our legislators will come together and pass that budget very soon.
The reason I bring it up is it's caused some angst amongst your teachers. It's never happened before, and the reason it's never happened before, because usually the legislature gets their act together and they meet again and they get past the budget, but they've yet to pass the budget.
That is correct. They usually pass well before now.
It's hard for the school system to say you're going to get exactly this amount, including this 5%, because that 5% hasn't been approved yet.
Not been approved, no.
So
that's correct.
that was my point. Thank you.
Anything else, Dr. Miller?
That's good.
Anyone else? Councilman Vogel.
Yeah, I don't have a question. I just want to say real quick, since y'all are here, I was going to bring it up at the end, but I'd like to do it while y'all are here. My son and I attended the STEAM event last night.
Yes.
It was wonderful.
Yes.
I mean, this was, I think, maybe the biggest one ever. I mean, it was just so many vendors and partners, and what a wonderful opportunity for young people. Again, we talk about young people, Mayor. All these different organizations and things that were there involved and got to learn and do fun things and stuff. Just a really awesome event, and so we really enjoyed that, and just so many great teachers that Danville Public Schools have, and I want to give a quick shout out to two in particular that we've had firsthand experience with this year, and have really just had a great experience. But Mrs. Hainsworth and Mrs. Green at Forest Hills, phenomenal job. They both go above and beyond for their students, and just doing a great job. But I've seen the work that you've done already in the time that you've been here, and I'm very excited about where we're going in the future. But that event last night just got me pumped when I left. I thought that was so good for our young people.
700 students and their families. We counted the students, but the families as well. It was amazing. Thank you for supporting.
Yeah, I got one. I don't know if y'all can answer. This was on the anticipated revenues, and do y'all handle that? Or is it
Michael's probably going to be your best bet. He's coming up in a few minutes with the general financial reports if you want to wait for that. Maybe you can ask Michael.
Okay.
He'll be coming up.
I'll wait. Thank y'all for everything that you're doing. I'm gonna support it. It's just I had some questions on premium bonds and how much we're paying for those loans.
I would love for Terrell Payne to answer that for you, but let's wait for Michael. Let's wait for Michael. Anyone else? Anyone else? I would just like to say Ken is planning correct me if I'm wrong, we have a big event for our employees at Otterbox, at the park for all our city employees. I don't know if anything is planned for all of our school teachers and school staff, but I'm hoping that some kind of way maybe we can partner and invite them to be a part of it. They're having a rough year. That's just me talking to you. So I know Ken said cha-ching, who's going to pay for all of that? Anyone else? Thank you so much for all that you all do. Yes, please.
May I thank you? You know, we have a lot of enhancements in our budgets, and we will address the mental health because that's very important to our children and our teachers and our students, added instructional days. But I can say that when we came to you all about the 1% sales tax, you all were there and you supported us. And not only did you support us with your vote, you supported us physically, being out there with the interviews and certainly advertising. When we needed internship dollars, you supported us. You have, this year we have almost 100 students interns. You have been amazing. When we needed our nonprofits to come together under one umbrella, Mr. Reynolds pulled us together under 211, and you supported that initiative. With Parks and Rec, we knew we needed more opportunities for children, and our city manager, Ken Larkin, pulled us together again and said, let's work together and support our children. When we needed adult workforce skills, Mr. Mayo, you all supported us, and we appreciate that. And even Mayor Jones, when Mr. Bennett over here and our great Project Imagine team wanted our children, Robert David wanted our children to take college tours. You took a day with our children and went out with the children. So we've appreciated your support all the way, and we appreciate your support at this time and hope you feel comfortable enough to trust us to vote yes for our budget. We appreciate you.
Dr. Harrison, let me just say this. As long as I've been on council, I don't recall a superintendent standing here saying thank you to us the way that you put it. I held a sign up for the bond referendum every council meeting, and these guys gave me a hard time holding that sign up. But I just personally want to say that I know we're trying to pull all of this together. The staff in Danville Public Schools have been working tremendously hard, very hard. I know the challenges. As Dr. Miller stated, he get the calls. Every council member get the calls. We tell the council members, school board members, have you contacted the proper authorities? And they're just going through so much, and it's because it's challenging times. And I just want to say to the entire Danville Public Schools staff, on behalf of City Council, whether they're teachers, custodians, cafeteria workers, bus drivers, Councilman Vogler called out 2 teachers. If I started calling out my list, I'd be calling out over 1,000 persons. And I sincerely appreciate, because Councilman Whittle and I were at lunch the other day, and to hear the conversation that we had in regards to Danville Public Schools and the things and how things are going. We've never had a conversation like that, and we feel like there's hope. The facilitator has already contacted me. I think I was the first person that he contacted, and we talked for over an hour and a half. We want to see things move forward. There's some ideas that I have, and I just want to pause right now and say to Councilman, School Board Member Terrell Payne and Keisha, you're working hard to unite us and keep us working together. And when I call on you both, I try not to get in the middle of those things because I get so many calls, as you both know. But when people are hurting, as we all know, they're going to call whomever they want to call because they want some relief. And I want to thank our city manager, as you stated, because sometimes I said, can you get in touch with Dr. Harrison, because I know your schedule is extremely busy. But I just want to pause again and say to the entire school staff, it's been a year. And Dr. Harrison, with everything that you're having to go through with VDOE and all the staff changes, thank you so much for all that you do. I sincerely mean it. Thank you all so much. On that note, Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Can you answer my question?
Yeah, he'll come back doing the financial report. Doing the financial report.
For the school system?
Yeah.
If I've already voted for it, then what?
Oh, come on, Michael. Michael, come forward. I thought it was something in regards with bonds.
Well, maybe, okay, I'm just showing the anticipated revenues. It's got 127 million, 11 million in premiums on the bonds, right? So that's what we paid to do the deal?
So a premium on a bond means those that purchase the bonds basically from us were willing to pay more than the face value. Because the bonds are tax exempt, often you can sell them for more than their face value. So say a $1,000 bond, someone might be willing to pay $1,100 for that bond. So the premium represents the profit or the extra that someone's willing to pay for those bonds, and that's what we were able to sell those for, an additional $11-some million.
And just for
answer my questions, and
just for clarification, too,
yeah.
I believe you're asking about the school bonds, the 1%.
That's well, yeah. It was it was 127 million, and then it was 11 million for the premium bonds, which was part of the school system, right?
That item was in the consent agenda, right? That's right. So this item is the school budget. So
that's what we're voting on.
You've already voted on the consent agenda. The consent agenda is what you're discussing. I mean, Michael still can answer your question.
Yeah, well, all right. Then there's one other question. It was, so the total bond expense was another $1.2 million, and that was right below it. And
so that is the cost to issue the bonds, which will come out of the premium proceeds or the bond proceeds. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
That's all. Thank you, Michael. Yep. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mr. Hood?
Aye.
Mayor Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Mayo?
I, Barry P. Mayo, do hereby state that I have a conflict of interest regarding the consideration of the resolution approving the budget of the school board of the city of Danville, Virginia for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023, listed on the agenda as an old business agenda item B. Therefore, pursuant to the State of Local Government Conflict of Interest Act, Virginia Code 2.2-3112, I must abstain from voting for this agenda item.
Vice Mayor Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Saunders? Mr. Vogler?
Aye.
Mr. Whittle?
Aye.
Mr. Buckner?
Aye.
Reverend Campbell?
Aye. Again, it's passed, and thank you all so much for all the work you do. On the general funds, Michael, welcome back.
Your agenda packet tonight, I believe you have the general fund financial results through the month of April. That is 83% of our fiscal year complete. Still good news on our revenue side. We have collected nearly $85 million at the end of April. That's about $4 million more than last year at this time. The overages are spread out about $1 million in general property tax, $2.5 million in local consumer-driven taxes, and about $500,000 in interest income and other state revenues. As far as general property taxes go, one driving force are the additional real estate and business property taxes that we're getting from our shared tax revenue with Pittsylvania County, representing those companies that are in our jointly owned industrial parks. Under local consumer taxes, this is the main area that's driving any budget variance we're going to see for this year in a very positive fashion. Sales tax, we've collected just under $9 million, which is 88% of our budget. That's about $670,000 over last year. We just received our May installment of sales tax this week. It was just over $1 million, and that's almost the second highest that we've ever received. Even with holiday sales, it was on up there, second highest. To complete our budget this year, we only need $150,000 more in sales tax revenue, and usually this year we've been averaging about $900,000 a month, so that's about $750,000. I anticipate being over budget in sales tax at the end of the year. With meals tax, we've collected $8.2 million. That's 100% of our original budget, but as you know, Council passed a budget appropriation ordinance to increase some of these revenues. So now we're at 89% of the revised budget for this year. It's $1.1 million over last year, and to meet our budget for this year, we will need to collect about $1.2 million in meals tax. And based on our previous months, we should anticipate collecting about $1.6 million, so another area that's going to exceed budget this year. With lodging taxes, we are at $1.7 million, or 110% of our original budget. With the recently passed budget appropriation ordinance, that's 92% of the revised budget. That's about $480,000 more than last year. To meet our budget this year, we need to collect about $146,000, and over the next 2 months, we should collect about $330,000. So another area that's going to be over budget. The only revenue category or line item that I see that I mentioned last month that we will be short in is telecommunications tax. We'll be about $350,000 short there, but the overages I just mentioned more than cover that shortage. And we've made those adjustments in the introductory budget for next year, reducing that telecommunications tax line, so it would be more appropriate for next year. On the expenditure side, nothing new to report. We're very comfortable where we are right now. At the end of April, we had spent 77% of our budget. If you just look at the departments alone, it was at 75% of budget. So I have no concerns on the expenditure categories at this moment. Just for a matter of reference, our real estate and personal property bills went out last week. So next month, I'll be able to comment on collections for the current year of real estate and personal property. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you so much. Any questions?
Yes, I do.
Councilman Campbell.
Yes, it seemed like, Michael, that our reserve is going to be bigger, right?
If we can keep this path that we're on for the rest of the year, we should have a surplus and be
Now,
able to
I know
add
that we talked about one time about increasing our reserve account to increase our bond rating, but that has not been determined yet.
That's correct. Okay. As the budget increases, so does our minimum threshold for fund balance.
Could you explain to the citizens of Danville the advantages of increasing our reserve and what benefits will come to us?
As we increase our fund balance policy, that sends a message to our bond rating agency or our credit rating agencies that we are going to keep more than sufficient funds in our savings account for any downturn in the economy or any unexpected events, such as a storm or something, where we have to front the funds to do those repairs because it takes a while to get like FEMA reimbursement. So it's just a very good positive sign to our credit rating agencies if we do that.
Now, my question to you, and I'm about finished, Mr. Mayor. I know we had talked about one time increasing from 20 to 30 million. Do you think that's too extreme, or we should compromise like 25?
I believe probably 25 will be a good step to take. But again, I think before we do that, we need to see how future revenues are going to look.
Yes.
Because as we increase that revenue budget, the minimum threshold automatically increases without any action. So we just need to be cautious.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Thank you, sir. Under consideration of maintaining the current real estate tax rate, I open the public hearing. Anyone who desires to speak on this agenda item may come forward this time. Anyone who desires to speak on this agenda item may come forward this time. I close the public hearing. Councilman Buckner.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion we approve an ordinance affirming the real estate tax rate of 84 cents on every $100 of assessed value. First reading.
Second by Councilman Mayo, first reading. Under communication, city manager.
Can't we bitch about that, Mayor?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So we're going to have we've had an assessment which brings us up 1%, correct? And in that 1%, we automatically we'll be able to, we leave the rate at 84 cents, and then your taxes still go up because the assessment's pushed in, correct?
So the state law says that if you, in a reassessment, if your values go higher than 1%, you must advertise an effective tax rate increase. We are in the midst of a revaluation. We do our assessments in-house by staff that works for the city of Danville. We are in the midst of that process right now. We don't know what it will end up being. Out of an abundance of caution, we advertised that it could be as much as 5%. Currently, it's less than that. Typically, in years past, as we get through the assessment process, the percentage increase decreases. And as of the writing of the memo, I think it was at 3.8%. It might be lower now than it was when the memo was written for the agenda packet. So ultimately, we don't know exactly what that's going to look like. But if the past is any guidance toward the present and the future, likely it's going to be somewhere between 1 and 3.8% of an increase. I do recommend that we maintain the tax rate at 84 cents because, one, we don't know what it's going to look like, and two, just like the cost of running anything is going up, so we have to be aware of that need throughout our, to be able to continue to provide basic city services to our citizens. But it's not going to, in the long, I think the estimate in the memo said that the total at this rate was, an additional revenue was in the $500,000 range or so, I think. It's anticipated to generate somewhere between $500,000 and $953,000 probably by the time it's over.
Thought it would have been more. Assessments, there's a big package that you put together to do your assessments. I do understand that, and not just driven by the market, but the market's been pretty hot, and I think it's going to cool off. So
you never know. It could get hot, could get cold, and you could be looking at adjusting rates necessary to compensate for it coming down. But it's like I said, we don't really know exactly what it's going to end up. And it is an average, so when people get their assessment, some will be higher and some will be lower. That's the case every year that we do a reassessment because, the value of property, depending on the kind of property it is, where it's located, would impact the value at, whenever the revaluation is complete. So this is an average estimate at this stage.
We're not working with the folks from the county, are we?
The city employees do our revaluation.
Thank
They've
you.
been doing it for many years. Thank you. We do ours every 2 years by cycle.
Thank you, Mayor.
Councilman Vogel.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. And I just want to reiterate and again make it very clear that City Council is not increasing anything.
That's right.
We're not increasing anything, and so we are actually keeping the tax rate the same. Now, as you mentioned, because home values are improving and going up, some folks' assessments may go up due to that, but City Council isn't increasing anything. We're maintaining the tax rate as is. This is not a not a rate increase or anything of that nature. I just want to make sure that that's clear, especially those watching who maybe just tuned in. Council is increasing nothing.
Nothing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that clarity.
That's right.
Anyone else? Dr. Miller?
Yeah, we went down this road a few years ago. The economy was booming, and we cut the tax rate by 4 cents. And then it wasn't too long that the bottom fell out, and we suddenly, revenue was gone, went way down. We had to go back to 84 cents, so we were very reluctant to make a change in the real estate tax at this time. We've been burned before doing that. You just can't predict what's going to happen. And again, it wasn't too long after we cut it to 80 cents that the economy bottomed. And then we had a lot of less revenue coming in. So I know we've got revenue with the casino, everybody talks about it, but we've got a lot of expenses. We've got some ambitious projects that we want to improve the city. We talked about Almagro and other places that we've got money budgeted for those areas. And so we've got an aggressive plan to fix these deficiencies that have occurred through the years. That, you know, some communities, when annexation got carried out years ago, 1988, I guess it was, sort of got forgotten. They were promised things. And this was communities all over the city, curbs and lights and so forth. So we can't make it all up at once, but we're going to need some money to do these improvements and make up to these different communities in the city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Communications, City Manager.
I have nothing in addition. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Deputy City Manager. Thank you, sir. City Attorney.
Nothing this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. City Clerk. Roll call, please.
Mayor?
Yes, I'm sorry. Good to see everyone.
Let me just tell everybody the reason that Mr. Mayo was off kilter. His wife has just walked in, and that's what happened. Go ahead, Mr. Mayo.
Wait for something.
Yeah.
Buckner, he saw his wife, and he just got lost.
Shut him up, Mr. Mayor. You shut him up.
So, Mr. Mayo, back to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, thanks. Yeah, our wife is good to see her for the first time in our council chambers. And I want to extend that condolences to the Gore family with what they're going through. Keep them in prayer. Not only that, keep our citizens, our whole communities in prayer. It's a praying time for these shootings. We must get a hold of them. Must keep talking. Families, keep talking to your children, loved ones, in reference to that situation, because it could have went better than what it did. And so condolences to the Gore family. Jobs, Dr. Jackson and Ms. Johnson, thank you for bringing that. We got plenty of jobs out here, and I've seen that more in abundance, and a lot of companies are hiring even when you have a barrier. And they are, the companies that were not given that leadway are because they need help. So please, ma'am, please, sir, there are jobs out here, and we want our citizens to take advantage of this situation while it's here. Graduation, definitely, Danville Community College, we could salute all the graduates of last week. And we got a lot of high school graduations going, and I know all our council members, along with the mayor, is going to be everywhere when that time comes. So we ask all the graduates to congratulations on you, and we hope and you have a prosperous future. And Natalie, thank you for coming again. I said that bring it what you got, you did, and you brought those young people, along with my young man I'm seeing out here with his mom. Keep doing what you're doing, because we want to keep continue pushing jobs. When it came to those jobs, I was growing up your age. It did me a well of good as far as work, because it taught me how to work and how to work honestly. And money was my passion. I know those computers yours, but you show me $1 bill, I'll cut all Danville. So that's all I have to say, man.
You know I'm not going to come behind that, right? Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Miller?
Yeah, it was good to hear from Dr. Jackson and the others about the skills they want to teach students. It's just amazing, the skills, not even close to what I needed to know when I got out. It's just a new world. But the 3D printing intrigued me. You know, you can make organs. They can I mean, just the things they can do in 3D. Came back to me about 2 years ago when COVID hit, and we were trying to find face shields for people to protect them in the hospital. You couldn't find them. You couldn't buy them. You couldn't beg. You couldn't steal them. And a student at the Martinsville Community College said, yeah, I can make those on my 3D printer. And he made them for practically nothing. He didn't even charge us for them. And he made hundreds of face shields that the hospital started using. So it's amazing what you can do. Secondly, the mention of the youth, it's gut-wrenching to hear all these, not only the ones that have been killed, there was Gore's child, the one the other night out in the county, that was just a graduation party. I think 75 children were invited and 250 showed up, and somebody got shot and killed, a young person. And then I read in the paper yesterday, I believe it was, that it's not just here, but 3 college-level, very good athletes, one softball player, one field hockey player, I don't know. They got scholarships, everything's going for them, they were all-stars, and they committed suicide, you know. So, I don't know, you know, you wonder what was in their mind. To look from the outside, they were very successful and doing great, and yet they commit suicide. So we're missing something, and it's good. We need to emphasize more and catch kids when they're in high school, even below that. What's sending them on this wrong path? What sends a teenager to go out and get such hatred in his heart to kill people that he doesn't even know? I mean, somehow we've got to get to our young people better than we're getting to them. And finally, it's back. I walked on the floor today at the hospital, and all the PPE was along the wall there, and there's COVID cases again. And the nurses were getting gowned up to go into the rooms. It's not like it was, but they're back. The same COVID that gave us 1 million deaths nationwide, 500 deaths in Danville, Pennsylvania County, 25,000 cases. So it's not over yet. Be careful. Get your vaccine. I'll give you a tale of 2 funerals. My office manager, her sister died in Denver, and they had a service out there. And already nobody had, probably most had not been vaccinated, didn't wear a mask, and they've already had 4 or 5 people come down with COVID. I went to a service last weekend, and not very few of us had masks on, but 90-some%, probably over 90% have been vaccinated. So far, we haven't gotten any COVID come out of that service. So it's a tale of 2 funerals. Get your vaccine, protect yourself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saunders, Mr. Vogler?
Yeah, I just have one item tonight. We talked earlier about identifying a problem or identifying an issue and then working towards a solution. Just one thing that I'd like to bring up is in the city of Danville, we have 364 bus stops. Of the 364, 41 of them have benches, and 18 of those are covered. Now, I understand that in some of those circumstances, there's right-of-way issues and some things that would not allow or would make it difficult for all 364 to have benches at them. But out of 364, I would hope that we could do better than 41 benches at those bus stops. As we think of what's going to be happening in Danville with Caesars and other things coming in here in the next few years, I think our public transportation and public transit system in Danville is going to be even more vital. And so I want to see us do everything we can to make that a good experience for people who are utilizing that service, especially on a regular basis. And I know Councilman Buckner, you're our representative on the board for that. And so I would ask maybe if you could, I know that's an issue you're passionate about. I know we've spoken before about the bus stops and wanting to try to get benches at more of them. And so maybe that's something you want to take the reins on. And I mean, I'm happy to help in any way that we can work together and maybe find some community partners to help with this. But 364 bus stops and only 41 benches, and even less than that covered ones. So you guys know I'm always looking for the next thing for us to sink our teeth into. I hope that collectively we can maybe find some solutions to this issue. Thank you.
Well, Councilman Vogler, I'm one step ahead of you. So this, we've already talked to the city manager. The city manager and his staff is actually looking into this. We got some concerns in regards to the bus stop at Biscuitville on Riverside Drive. And when I contacted the city manager to look at this, him and his staff, they're actually looking into this now. So great job. Madam Clerk.
Mr. Whittle?
Thank you. You know, when it comes to infrastructure and the things that we have to do inside the city, it's not real glamorous, and but it's important things that we have to do. And I just feel like on top of that, there's a recession on the way too. I'm an eternal optimist, and the only thing you can do is spend less. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Buckner?
Yeah, it was great seeing everybody out at the Festival in the Park this past weekend. The community market the weekend before that for the Make Danville Shine event, and the kickoff of our beloved farmers market. Ran into some really great folks there. I'm missing Mr. Saunders tonight. He and I were there for quite a while, speaking with a gentleman who is a butler in the White House and has been so for very many years. I believe he got most of us and got pictures with all of us. But Mr. Lipford is just a real gem, and he is a Danville resident, but he works and reports into the White House every single day and has done so for the last 5 presidents that we've had. So if you ever get a chance to meet him, he'll be at the community market, I'm sure, every weekend that he's available to be off and be there. He's a guy that's wearing the tall chef's hat, so that guy's got some very interesting stories that he shares. And yeah, it's just another little hidden gem here in Danville. I look forward to seeing everybody June 4th at the Bridge Street Food Truck Rodeo. It's guaranteed to be a great event once again. There's always several thousand folks that show up to that, and look forward to seeing you all there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Reverend Campbell?
Yes, very briefly. Last City Council, I had the opportunity, which the mayor allowed me to speak behind Caesar, Mr. Livingston, the presentation that he made to the community. I'm very thankful to our city manager and our mayor and city council to see the prosperity here in the city of Danville and the prosperity that is coming for the future. I have stated from day one that my concern with the city of Danville is that my interest is to see that prosperity is shared to all areas of our community. And in doing that, sometimes it's very challenging because that's something that I personally believe in very deeply. My roots living in the city of Danville, first of all, I love this city. I've given my life to stand for what I believe, the roots of my family, to make sure that all areas of our community is blessed. And sometimes in doing that, there's a misconception of what you stand for. And sometimes we may be blinded in what we see. I appreciate tonight the citizens of Danville and to see all the interests here of business moving forward in our community and to be blessed in all areas of our community. So all I'm saying is that there are things that I see in the community I want to make sure, as we had the union people to speak out and other entities of our community, in which the mayor said go across the hallway and to work some things out, and we're working some things out. But I don't want us to be blinded. I don't want us to be blinded. And I'm not here to bring confusion. I'm trying to make that clear. All I'm saying is prosperity for those who are interested, and I see the interest here, and it's very deep, to make sure that we prepare ourselves in every way, that we are able to we have a good quality of life here, but it can be better. It can be better. Every city councilman that I've talked to, mayor, and all the city councilmen here, we have given a lot into our community. We love this city. You know, we love the city for what we stand for. And for us to take a short curve or look at one area and don't look at the other area, all we can say as policy makers that the doors are open. The doors are open. And for us to prepare ourselves for what is coming, what is here. We can only do and say certain things. There's certain things that we have to do ourselves. There's certain things we have to move up the ladder for ourselves. We have a great city. We talk about shootings, we talk about crime, we talk about this and we talk about that, but it all comes down to economics. My goal is to see not only just one or two business leaders at the top of the ladder, it can be spread out. It can be spread out to all areas of our community. And this is what Danville is about. This is what makes Danville great. This is what makes us stand out than any other city in our community. And you know, there's certain things, I hope, I'm gonna shut my mouth, but in what happened a couple of weeks ago, I was blasted, Mr. Mayor, because they did not see, they saw certain things, but they couldn't see the total picture. They can't see the total picture. The total picture is that we all are here in the city of Danville. And prosperity is supposed to be shared. It's not limited. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived, and make sure when you see apprenticeship, you see this and you see that, we talk about children. We want them to stay in the city of Danville. We want them to improve, to come up. We have a great city. We don't give all our time, our lives for us just to be stagnant. We're here to make sure that all of us are able to come up who wants to come up. That's what I'm talking about. When I hear people to speak out, when I hear people to talk about what they want to do, yes, that's what we're talking about. And we want to enhance that. We want to improve that. That's what Danville is about. This is a new Danville. We say we imagine, come on, let's imagine what Danville is about. What Danville is about. Danville is a great city. It's a powerful city, but it's a city where we're able to unify. I say once again, I thank the city manager, I thank the mayor, the city councilmen. I'm here to speak life. I'm not here to speak division. I'm speaking life. That we are great, and it's meant for us to move forward together for those who are interested in moving forward together. That's where my heart is. That's my roots of my life. I'm going to shut my mouth. Look, Lord Jesus, help me to shut my mouth. I love my daddy. My father's a civil rights leader. This is a new day, but yet there's some things in our community, in our nation, we can't shut our mouth. We can't shut our mouth. This is opportunity. When I see all that is going here in the city of Danville, we should be most positive, come together to improve and say, hey, this is a new day. Don't put your mind back in the past. But look where we're going. Let's unite our hands together, pull the people together and say, hey, we can. Not that we can't, we can. I'm not going to preach. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
And the church said amen and amen. Madam Clerk.
Yeah, I just want to
go behind the preacher. You got to go behind the preacher.
I didn't take my text now.
But I know we hear a lot about city staff, and we hear a lot about city council and school board and first responders and rescue and fire. But I want to give a acknowledgement to our citizens for their resilience that they have. I know other places say they got a great city, and I understand, and I know I want to echo off of what Mr. Campbell just said, speaking on our city of Danville, but we also could understand that, man, it's a lot of people working here, and not only in front of the light, but behind the scene, they're working here, and I think those are the backbones that a lot of stuff is built upon, is off the backbones of those who are underserved and underheard. And it's just great to be out in the community and see people that are literally invested in this community. They believe in it. They believe in it. And what we have to continue to do, and perseverance and pressing forward to continue to guide them and allow them to work with us. You hear the mayor speak all the time on partnerships and collaborations, and that's what we're doing. Is everywhere perfect? No, it's not. But I tell you what, it's perfect for us because we are Danville. So I just want to give a shout out to the citizens of Danville for their resilience. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Jones.
To Dr. Jackson and Sheena Kane Johnson, thank you all so much for coming out and sharing the information. It was a last minute thing where Dr. Jackson came tonight. Please remember that information. Those of you, we want you to get involved with that training. To all the ministers, please stand again. All the ministers, please stand. We want to thank you so much for what you do for us. Let's give them a big hand, please. Thank you all so much for what you do for our community. School board members and superintendent, please stand again. Let us thank you all so much again. Let's give them a hand for what they're doing. Where are young people at? Our young people, please stand. Young man, I know the girls left. Stand up again, Joe. Let's give him a hand, please. And I just want to say that you may have a seat. I want to say this, and then we're going to close and get on out of here. Larry already preached your sermon, so I'm going to take up the offering when I leave. But to this young man, Mr. Jones, stand up for a second. Yeah. Every time you come to city council, there's been many discussions in regards to progress and different things that are happening in the city. And sometimes we take things, we don't quite understand things, but I just want to speak on behalf of myself. Every time I see you with the Word of God, and every time you talk about Jesus, I don't take it lightly. Councilman Vogler's prayer tonight, and then you come behind there and confirm the prayer, and then the ministers around you. I know for a fact the solution, we know what the solution is. The solution is prayer. The solution is Jesus Christ and all of whatever everybody else believes in. But I want to thank you for coming, and I want to thank you for holding that word up. I don't know who told you to do it. I don't know why you do what you do, but I want to say thank you. And all of you, then you may have a seat, but I want to tell everybody who's here tonight, our city is growing. There are wonderful things happening in our city. You heard that the mayor oftentimes talked about partnerships. We need more. The violence and everything that's going on. I'm going to be joining Councilman Saunders in just a few minutes. The reason that Councilman Saunders is not here tonight, Councilman Saunders is with the Gore family and the loss of their son today in the death at Purdon Woods. I'm going to be joining him in a few minutes. If we can ask anything of our citizens, partner with us. Yes. Partner with us and help us to gird and guide these young people and young adults. Help us gird them, guide them in the right way. When you hear just a few blocks down the road in Blair's, we had a murder this past weekend, and we're praying for that family. We need your help. We need your help. We can't do it all by ourselves. And the way that we do it is we love one another, we treat each other right, we speak to each other right. And this council, more than anybody else, we've taken more things than you can possibly think. Things have been said about us. But one of the things we have to understand about our young people as I close, we grew up with sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt. They do hurt. They hurt. And as adults, all of those persons who are on social media and everything else that is enjoying all of this violence, I plead, we ask you as a council, please reach out to our young people. You can't blame it all on city council. You can't blame it all on the ministers. You can't blame it all on the parents. We're all in this together. We need your help. When you read about this stuff on social media, when you see North Side against South Side, help us, join in with us, partner with us, because we don't need any more deaths in our community. Because when you look at what happened today, there are so many family and friends that are affected with that death today. Not only that, but we don't forget, whenever this young man, whomever did this, that family is going to be affected because they got to go through the judicial system. We need your help. As mayor in the city of Danville, Virginia, I'm asking for your help. It's easy to come before city council and tell city council what we need to do. I'm asking you, I'm pleading to you, help us. Help us. Oftentimes people tell us what we're not doing. You've seen our proof. We're talking about it. I don't know what else. Dr. Harrison mentioned it. Tommy and I got on a bus with a group of young people. and we had a wonderful time. You said, well, what are you councilmen doing? What is city council doing? This council has worked tirelessly and will continue to work. I'm pleading in our school system, what you're doing is you can call and talk about the school board members, and you talk about Dr. Harrison and all of those fights and anything that's taken. We need your help. We need your help. Help us. On this note, we are adjourned. Dr. Miller.